Ben Verlander joining me now, and what an exciting opportunity for you, Ben, because I don't know anybody that has fanboyed over Shohei Ohtani, rightfully so, than you have. First, before we get into this amazing special from Fox Sports Films and Religion of Sports media company, let's talk about that love affair. At what point did you fall in love with Shohei the player and then the person?
You know, it's kind of a long story, but to sum it up, I was a two-way guy in college myself and ended up going away from being a two-way guy because it was so difficult to focus on both, even at the college level. And then I'm playing professionally and start having friends playing in Japan that say, you need to know the name Shohei Ohtani. You're going to be hearing about him soon. So I started following his career in Japan. I heard what he was doing, both pitching and hitting, became enamored with him then. And then he comes to the United States. He's doing it here. And then last year was just kind of the culmination of everything. He's healthy. He was finally able to do both and kind of on his schedule when he wanted to. And yeah, it's a little combination of a personal connection from trying to be a two-way guy myself, despite not throwing 100 or being able to hit balls 500 feet. But I know how difficult it is. And I know how much is going on behind the scenes. And that's arguably more impressive to me than what he's able to do on the field. So that's kind of why I just started talking about him as much as I do. And really, I just want people to appreciate and understand what we're seeing while we're seeing it, instead of looking back in 50 years saying, wow, that was actually really cool.
Ben, I don't even have to look at the probables on a daily basis. I always know when Shohei is pitching because I just follow you on Twitter. Tell me more about Shohei Day. What is this and what is on your head?
Alana, this is a fantastic question. So I got my wisdom teeth removed last year and came home and was very out of it and was not making a lot of sense and just said, hey, take a picture of me like this. I have no idea why. It is not the most flattering picture. In fact, it is quite ridiculous. And then one day I posted it when Shohei was pitching. I think I just said, like, good luck, or it's Ohtani Day. And he threw incredible. I mean, I think it was the day he had like 6 perfect innings, gave up 1 hit in the end, punched out like 12 guys. And it just became something that I kept doing every start he's had. And this year on the mound, man, he's been incredible. So I'm very superstitious, being a former baseball player myself. And I don't mess with success when it's happening for anybody. I like seeing people do well, and I'm not going to be the reason they're not. So I just keep on posting it.
Yeah, I just always know when he's pitching. Thanks to you. I appreciate that. You are absolutely the president of his fan club, and certainly the president of why Shohei Ohtani should be the MVP. Of course, the opposite end of that equation, many people say Aaron Judge should be the MVP because he's carrying that team, who happens to be a postseason team. What is your status on that?
You know, I can't look past what Aaron Judge is doing this year. This is one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time. There's no doubt about that. And I know he's a few games in a row now without hitting a home run, but we've seen that so many times this year. And right when people start worrying, he hits 2 home runs in that next game and he's right back on track. This time, if he hits 2 home runs in a game, guess what? He's breaking Roger Maris's record. He'll be at 62. I do believe he gets there. He's having one of the best Septembers of all time. There's no doubt about that. So, look, I understand if and possibly when he wins the MVP award, Aaron Judge is having the epitome of an MVP season. It is the perfect MVP-esque season. I just, when you start looking at most valuable player, if you really look at that, I struggle to understand how you can be more valuable than an ace of a staff and your 2-3 hole hitter. It's just a guy that's doing both really well. If you look at his stats this year, it's Shohei Ohtani's stats. On the pitching side, he compares to Max Fried of the Braves, and on the hitting side, he compares pretty well to Austin Riley of the Braves, who was in MVP conversations for a while on the National League side. Now, obviously, the National League side of MVP is a little bit different because nobody's doing what Aaron Judge is doing. But I do understand Aaron Judge, and I am rooting so hard for him. Just at the end of the day, I think what Shohei is doing is the most valuable to a team. He's doing all of that from one roster spot, and it's quite the conversation. But look, I never want to take away what Aaron Judge is doing because it is fascinating to watch. He has the whole baseball world in the palm of his hands. I was watching a Yankees-Pirates game in mid-September when the Yankees are going to clinch a 2 seed and get a bye, and the game theoretically doesn't mean the most for them. I'm locked into every pitch, and that's what Aaron Judge has done, and there's value in that, and what he has done for the baseball world this year is a lot of value as well. So I certainly understand if Aaron Judge wins the award.
Ben, people would argue that Shohei Ohtani would certainly be the MVP if he was on a winning team, which leads me to my next question. One of the reasons when he was posted and teams were clamoring to get his talent on their squad, one of the reasons he didn't want to go to the Dodgers was because he wanted to hit, naturally. He wanted to be able to be that two-way player that he is. At the time, the Dodgers obviously didn't have the DH because it wasn't in both leagues. But Shohei Ohtani wants to win, and he wants to be on a competitive team. Do you think there's any part of him, because you did have this opportunity to really get in depth with him, is there any part of him that wishes he would have gone to a contender? And do you see Shohei being an Angel when he's a free agent?
Yeah, that's a great question. And when I sat down with Shohei for this, it wasn't about his future. And obviously we'll get soon to what that was all about. But when I look at the decision he's made, I don't think there's any regrets there. He's come over, he's been able to do what he's done, win a unanimous MVP award, which last year, you're right, you mentioned it. Let's say he had gone to the Dodgers. He probably wouldn't have been the MVP last year because the situation just didn't work out with the DH and everything there. So I think every decision he's made along the way has been the right one so far. And including the decision he had at 18 years old, whether to come over here or not, or to stay in Japan. And that is a question that I was able to ask him in this and really dive into that decision and why he decided to stay in Japan for a few extra years before he came over here. Now, in terms of the future, Shohei's been pretty straightforward about this. We heard what he said, I think it was in the offseason. He said, look, I want to win. That's what I want to do. And I do believe he is loyal to the Angels. Obviously, he's playing there. He chose to play there. He wants to win there. I think all he wants is a motion from the organization to say, yeah, we want to win. We're willing to do it. And just for them to show it, because right now it's been a disservice to baseball fans, to the players themselves. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, they're two of the best players in the game. Mike Trout has been the best player in the world for a decade, and we've seen him in the playoffs for one series. We as fans need better than that. And I want for those guys, for them to get into the playoffs. So I think it's going to come down to if they show a commitment to winning, because at the end of the day, Shohei made it clear, I want to win. And whether that's there or not, I don't know. And I don't know if he knows yet.
All right, one more question for you, Ben, before I let you go. I'm having a hard time hearing you, but before I let you go, what was the best part about the opportunity to sit down in an exclusive interview with Shohei and really get to know him better than anybody else has had a chance to?
Yeah, so it was really special to be able to sit down with him for an hour. Nobody has ever done that in season. So to do that, it's a project produced by Religion of Sports for Fox Sports, and it was an honor. And to be able to go over there to Japan and get so much behind the scenes stuff, exclusive things that have never been seen before, and then for it to culminate by sitting down with Shohei for an hour and being able to talk to him about everything was a special moment for me. And it's something that I'm really excited for the world to see, because he doesn't do things like that. And I found out a lot about myself in this entire process. So this is going to be a really special thing here. And like you said earlier, it releases October 18th on Fox Sports 1 after a playoff game. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I know everybody else is looking forward to it as well. Great job on this, on getting the exclusive interview. Ben, thanks for taking the time to be with us about your boy. I know how much you love to talk about him, but really it has been interesting to watch him this year, and great to see what's to come. Ben Verlander, thanks so much.
Of course. Thanks, Alana.